My name is Joe Serlin. I own the property in the Shire plan at the back of the top of Hobbit Lane up there on Gandalf Court. And this is also about municipal runoff water. With the municipal catch basin up there on Oregon Place, up in the cul-de-sac, I believe. TJ knows what I'm talking about.
I do very well.
And it runs into the stormwater sewer.
Yeah.
And it's still dumping onto the property, and my wife handed out some photographs where it's dumping out, and it's starting to erode the hillside up there. And nothing's ever been done about it. I'm just curious what was ever going to be done to take care of that problem up there.
So, do you mind if I
No, go
respond?
ahead. It's on the emergency list.
It's yeah. As you know, Joe, last year we had a CCTV inspection done from that catch basin going down, the catch basin at the end of Aragon Place going down towards your property. The inspection made it about 75 feet back from the catch basin until they could no longer force the camera any further because the pipes collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
And as the board can see from this photo, Joe and I have walked back there before. Robinson Pipe Cleaning was here. We dye tested it. There is no outfall visible any place where that pipe discharges on the hillside. We never found it. We did find a developer's agreement from 2000, which mentions a 350 cubic foot rock sump was going to be built temporarily at the end of this pond, or at the end of this storm drain, as a temporary measure until phase 3 of the Shire plan was to be constructed, and at that time that pipe would be connected to the other storm sewers that were going to be built in that plan. And that was a April of 2000 developers agreement. You know, just based on what I've seen out there, the fact that there is no end wall, there's no place where that pipe outlet's on the side of the hill, there's a decent chance that rock sump is still there. And as you can see from this erosion issue, that water has no viable place to discharge to other than out onto the May's, looks like a cut slope.
So is there a plan that something's going to be done with that?
So that's to make a long story short, Joe.
What's the plan going to be?
It's on the list to
It's actually
address.
We have a couple lists. One is things that may take a little time to get to, or the condition that we could put them off of, but Spruce Street, there's a couple more that are listed. We're gonna go in and take the stuff out and replace it and repair it.
That-
One of the, on tonight's agenda, there is, to advertise for bids for road projects for 2024. Aragon Place is one of the roads that we're
And
working on.
before we pave, we wanna make sure the infrastructure is in good condition. Piping's good, the storm inlets are cleaned, refurbished, replaced, whatever the conditions would require.
So the
It's on the list, and I think we'll probably be there maybe by the end of the month.
So the advertising for the pipes, the aggregates, and the paving products is on the agenda to put out
Right.
for advertising for bid.
The
for
pipe needs
tonight's
replaced.
meeting.
Okay, where's it going to go to though?
Well, and that's
That's what I want.
that's part of this conversation also.
Okay.
Is, you know, once we convey the water past this scour point here that we're all looking at, we're gonna need some form of a drainage easement from you folks.
And I said I would give it to you to tie into
You
that.
did.
That was a year ago.
That was a
Yes.
year ago.
That was a
yeah.
year ago. The problem is, TJ, we're building, as you can see. We paid a lot of money to excavate and have that hillside cut back and graded. Now we have damage. This was taken before the monsoon rains of a week ago. These are 3-week-old photographs. It's worse now. As it continues to rain, where does that leave us with all the money we paid our excavator? You guys knew a year ago this was a problem. And that we've been on lists and been waiting. Now, who's gonna pay to have this regraded?
Is there a grading plan on file? I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you get a grading plan a permit from township for that, by the way, or no?
For this here, I believe we have all the permits through Harold.
We have all the permits go over through Harold.
I think, well, they have a building permit.
They have a building permit, do the
I don't know
grading?
about a grading permit.
Well,
I don't know.
Right, meaning excavation for the house, and they evened out that
grading.
land, right, it's just part of the excavation, we didn't change anything, it's just to
No.
put our house in there.
Only thing, I understand your concern, but again, what you heard tonight is that the township's gonna be buying product, and it takes about a month to buy product, put it in. What TJ says, we'll need an easement or something to go and to
Right.
drain it. the
How
water.
long will that take?
Well, I said before, it's gonna take a month, we have to go through a process, it takes about a month to go and purchase product. So we're talking about a month there. How quick can you do the design on this situation?
Well, I mean, we're talking about I think we need to clarify what exactly what exactly is gonna be done there. I mean,
I
are
don't
we
know,
building a storm sewer straight through the
we
May's
haven't come
property?
up with a solution yet on that particular aspect.
So what you're saying, there's still a design issue at this stage, correct?
Yes,
Correct, yes.
Why wasn't that addressed last year? Like, why have we waited this long?
I don't know, I don't know, Mayor.
Like, so we're building our house now, we're gonna be putting a driveway and all in, like, if you need an easement, we're fine with an easement and to correct this, but this should have been done a year ago, and now we're faced with, we have to continue building, we only have a loan for so long.
They weren't here last year.
Yeah, I can't, I
Right.
sympathize with it, I wasn't
And Dennis
here.
Nagel was, and Michelle was.
Well, he doesn't do roads.
No, but TJ was here, TJ was gonna be looking into this.
They didn't have enough workers a year
But how
ago.
would you feel if you paid thousands of dollars to build a new home and excavate for it, and now it's failing because of the township water being dumped onto it?
Hmm.
It's not really fair.
Mays?
Here's what, we can't give you an answer right now, okay, because it's still, we can't give you an answer right now on when it's going to be done. All I can tell you is we'll buy the product, and then basically TJ and the board, myself, will discuss what options we have, and we'll go from there. We'll get you an answer probably the next couple of weeks.
Who's gonna pay to have this fixed? It's a, you can't drain water into someone else's property, and it's the result of a failing storm sewer. So who's gonna pay to fix this? Our machines are gone. They're done, they were done. I mean, who's gonna
I
pay?
can't give you an answer to that,
Or
okay?
Can you look into it? Because I don't think we should be
We can look at,
responsible.
well, I don't know, I can't tell you who's responsible, but we'll look into it, okay?
Yeah.
So you feel we could be responsible for this?
I
even though
didn't,
it's
no, you're putting words in my, I said, I don't
I'm
know
asking
yet.
you.
But I don't know, I can't give you an answer because I don't know the facts, okay?
Okay, it's taken a year to get the facts.
Well, no, you asked me about a different story now, okay? We'll get back to you in the next couple of weeks, okay?
Okay, we're gonna start calling TJ weekly then to try to get updates, because we've definitely been left hanging.
Last fall, we investigated it to try to understand the scope of the problem. Now we know what the problem is. The pipe's clogged, it's collapsed, it doesn't work. 4 new supervisors were elected in November. We have a laundry list of issues that they're getting up to speed with. And yes, this
What's your
situation
address?
is on our list. We've sent a
What's your
letter to
address?
Pennsylvania American
Did
telling
you
them
go
they
up and
can't.
look at it?
What's your address?
It's 111 Gandalf Court is what it
Which
is.
is the end of Hobbit
It's
Lane,
the end of
but
Hobbit Lane. in
Gandalf
Shire.
was already subdivided, we had to
I'm
use
just
that.
keeping track.
Thank you.
Okay? All right, we'll get back to you in a couple of weeks.
It's on the list.
Yeah, and if you wanted to go up, if someone wanted to go up, I could certainly meet someone up there.
I'll talk to Mr. Puglisi tomorrow morning, and I'm sure we'll be up there next day.
Okay, because TJ, you stood up my number,
I do.
so he can give you my number if you wanted to meet
And
or
that's fine,
something.
we'll take a peek at it.
Okay, and just see the result, you know what I mean, so we have some resolution.
I don't have a problem, we'll look at it,
Okay.
we're gonna go down to, Norman tomorrow, and, we
Okay.
pick away at it, there's just a lot to do.
We did notify Pennsylvania American that
For the water from
No
the
more.
reservoirs, yeah, you had mentioned that, yeah, they did tell me that, okay.
And quite frankly, Joe, we need to talk about what exactly that solution's gonna look like.
Okay,
We know where the pipe's failing, it's no longer conveying the water. How are we gonna convey that safely through your property to make sure that it gets to the stream? That's the question that we
there's a
need to
storm sewer down on our property, that it could run down there and just tie into that.
potentially, but that was,
I mean, you can take a look at it.
we'd
so-
have to,
Yeah, you
that
can
was
take
built
a,
20 years ago.
well, I
Maybe
know,
that's
but I'm
what
saying you can take a
condition.
look at it, you know,
Nobody's
so-
done anything with it
Yeah.
in 20 years.
Okay, well, you can take a look at it and let me know.
It's probably a good idea to meet with Joe on his property and figure out, what the best course of action would be.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right,
okay,
You'll be out here tomorrow anyhow.
I'll be here tomorrow morning.
Take a spin off.
all right, good night, Doug.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, that is everybody.